Today's meeting of the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is called to order on January 26th. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Agendas of today's meeting are on the wall at the entrance of the chambers. Please remember to turn off all your cell phones. The Municipal Code Enforcement Board consists of 7 members who are appointed by the City Council. We serve voluntarily. It is the board's intention to promote, protect, and improve the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Clearwater by providing this equitable, effective, and inexpensive method of enforcing certain codes within the city. The board considers new business items in 2 parts, first the violation and then affirmative relief. Formal rules of evidence do not apply. Each side is limited to 15 minutes. The board may grant additional time. All proceedings will be conducted in a calm, civil manner. Individuals who conduct themselves otherwise will be asked to leave. If necessary, they will be escorted from the chambers. Now I ask all who plan to speak to please rise and be sworn in by the clerk. Thank you. Our first order of business is to review and approve the minutes of last month's meeting. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Minutes are approved. Okay. Is there anyone here to speak to items not on the agenda today? Will you come on up? Please come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
Okay. Good afternoon. We're Dolores and Dennis Nelson. We've lived in Clearwater for 32 years. We've lived in Northwood Estates subdivision in the countryside area. And the reason we're here, well, we live at 2641 Brandywine Drive. The reason we're here is over New Year's weekend, the neighbors directly behind us with our backyards touching at 3051 Diamond Head. We're putting up an antenna. So we were in the patio and we started talking with them. We've got antennas, we've cut the cable and we've got the antennas in the window for our TVs. And I said to them, I've never met the people, and I said, what is that? And she said, oh, it's a ham radio antenna. And I said, well, what's that? I wasn't really familiar. So she explained if everything was shut down, they could communicate. And I said, oh, I thought it was a TV antenna. But it ended by the end of the day, it was probably 45 feet high. So that I called, and I've been going around, and that's why we're here, because I have been emailing Melissa from the planning department, I believe, referred us to Dana, and Dana listened, and he sent out an inspector, and I believe his name was Sam. Swinton. And he came out and he took some pictures of it, and I haven't heard anything from him. So then I was referred to Kevin in that department, and my question was, did they get a permit? Is it legal? And can you put something up that high? So this has been going over the last several weeks. In the meantime, we looked at our HOA restrictions, and our HOA has fallen apart over COVID. It's all volunteers, and it does say that no structure can be installed in the property over 25 feet. And this is obviously
it's pretty big. I mean, it's
45 feet. And our concern is because we're the lightning capital, we get all these storms, and it is secured with some wire to some like 4x4 posts that are higher than our PVC fence. So they're maybe 6.5 feet up. And so it is secured, but our bed is probably, well, it's like 20 feet from this thing.
Well, what could happen is we got a pool cage there too, okay, in between. So
I mean, it just looks dangerous, and all the neighbors around.
Pool cage and then right into our bedroom, okay, if that thing would have blown over. So
even though it's secured by wires. So I haven't heard anything from the inspector that took the pictures. Dana at one point emailed that they didn't pull a permit and they will be contacting them. And so we're just like, I've got nowhere to turn to from the HOA. I've been working with several people there. We met Julie Phillips a few minutes ago when we arrived, and she explained the proper way to go would be to talk to the Code Violation Compliance Department to issue a complaint. So she gave me the number to call. I can issue a written complaint, but I'm just wondering what the status is. I don't know how involved you are with all this, or what.
It sounds like you're in the early stages of this case, that inspector has already been assigned
Okay,
and is working to figure out whether or not this requires a permit and/or is in violation of that.
well, I did get an email that it is in violation of that, and they were gonna contact them. I mean, I would really like to know what's happening in the meantime, and a lot of the neighbors are upset by this big structure there,
Yeah,
too.
I'm
I mean, I
sure
don't know if I
they're,
need a petition, or,
I'm sure the inspector's working directly with the homeowner.
so that is, the one that took the pictures would contact them?
Yeah.
And you should be
Okay.
able to follow up with that inspector to just get an update.
All right, how would I be able to, how would I
How do
get
we
his
get
phone
hold of
number?
him?
How do we do that?
She should speak compliance.
Hi.
So what you can do, the board won't be able to respond to these concerns today. They hear cases that are before them, so.
Right, so we're just,
Right.
yeah,
Right. So now that you've brought this up, the appropriate people will hear or are in the room that you've mentioned, and they'll be able to follow up with you. But unfortunately, this board and this today's meeting wouldn't be able to address your issues.
okay.
Well, we just
So-
wanna know.
Matt Minich, I'm the assistant.
What should we
city
do
attorney.
at this
I can give you
point?
my card as well. My name is Matt Minich, I'm the assistant city attorney. I'd be happy to give you my card as well if you'd like an additional contact.
Oh, okay, that would be wonderful, I appreciate that.
No problem.
Yes, and Dana and Kevin, and they have your information, your contact
They
information?
do, they do.
Okay, well, I'll make sure that they're aware that you came today.
Okay, I would
To
appreciate that. I mean, I can
express
send
I got
Dana.
your name and address,
Okay,
and
Okay.
somebody will be in contact.
Okay,
Yeah, we're just wondering, I mean,
Absolutely.
that thing is so big, if it would blow over, okay?
It's
it'd
just
come
really
right through
scary.
Our pool cage, and it would come right into our bedroom in our house,
Yeah,
okay?
so they'll be able to address that with you.
right.
We got a.
Okay.
Thanks, Nelsons. Hopefully it won't
Dana,
come
I'm
before
Dolores
us.
Nelson, I've been emailing. Pardon?
You
Yes,
mind
please
if I
join
just
us.
step up here?
Yeah,
Please,
yeah.
please join us.
Hi, I'm Dana Root. I'm the Assistant Building Official for the City of Clearwater. We are aware of the structure that went up. We have a stop work order. We have notified the property owner. They do need a permit. I believe I sent you that in an email. And
You did tell me somebody would contact them.
Right, and I believe we told you that there was no limit on the height.
Oh, I didn't get that.
You didn't get that?
No, email?
Email, yeah.
Oh, okay,
'Cause we want
Okay.
to
Why
play,
don't we talk after the first case?
okay, I'd love
Take care
that.
of it.
I'd love that, okay. Thank you
Thanks,
very
Nelsons.
much.
Glad
Thank
you
you
did.
for your time.
Glad to help, thank you. Okay, is that everything for items not on the agenda? Anybody else for items not on the agenda? Okay. Moving on, next on the agenda are the new business items. I'm going to start with case 170-21. Respondents Mark Couture at 611 Lembo Circle in violation of code for permits. Is there anyone here to speak to this case?
Mark is here.
Is he gonna speak? Hi, please state your name and address.
Mark Kuchar, 611 Limbo Circle, Clearwater, Florida, 33756.
And Mark, do you admit the violation?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So can I have a motion on the declaration?
I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And do you want to talk about the permit issue?
I could pay what it would cost for a permit, and I was hoping you would just allow the carports to stay. They've been there a long time, and they're used for protection. I have a couple of elderly gentlemen that live at the house, and it's good when they come out to have like an awning. They're basically just a couple of awnings.
Okay.
Can we hear the case first?
Yeah. So we'll let the inspector speak, and then we'll ask you to come back up.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Board. Jason Cantrell, Building Inspector, City of Clearwater. I am going to go ahead and skip down to the photos, start from there. So this is on Limbo Circle. It's just to the east of Missouri, just south of Court Street. This is a Google Street View of the home. It's the green home, kind of catty corner way. The carports are not here in this photo of March 2015 where the white truck is. And then in December of 2016, you could see they are installed. There's a better view of them. And Mark did apply for a permit, and they needed some revisions. They had some issues that the corner of one of the carports was in the right-of-way, and that would have to be addressed, as well as he would need engineering submitted for those carports. So that's kind of where he's stuck at with that permit that was applied for. And that's the posting for today's hearing. And then this was yesterday, actually day before, just showing that they are still there.
Okay. Go ahead.
You said that the carport infringes on the right-of-way?
That's what the notes that one of the planners put in, yes.
Do we know how much or how many?
I don't know. There's a 20-foot side triangle, so, and it's a corner property, so it can't infringe on that 20-foot triangle.
Right. In Kenny Park, I mean, if it were moved back, say 3 feet or 4 feet to get it out of the right-of-way, would he comply then?
It would have to go through the process of review, but it sounds that way, but I really don't know. It would have to go through review.
So the issue is, it's too close to the right, or it infringes on the right-of-way.
Well, he doesn't have a permit at all for them.
Right.
Oh, he doesn't have a permit?
He doesn't. He's applied for a permit after he was cited, but
I'm sorry.
he's kind of stuck at this point.
So he needs a permit, engineering, and then that'll determine where they should be or not be.
Correct.
So he applied for a permit, but it needed revisions because of the right-of-way issue?
Because of the right-of-way issue, and it needed submitted engineered drawings.
A retroactive permit. Okay. And what are your recommendations?
For compliance to be met, for the stop work order, apply for, obtain, and complete the required permit. And then we are requesting compliance on or before February 26, 2022, for a fine of $150 per day that the violation continues to exist, and any reasonable costs applied as liens against the property. After 3 months from the recordation date of such lien, if the fines, fees remain unpaid, the city attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law.
Do you think that's enough time to get engineered drawings for that? Permit, yes, but the drawings.
Probably, it's hard to say. I would leave that up to you guys.
Is that what the engineering department came back with, that it needed engineer's drawings, or was he
that's
allowed
what-
to just draw a setback and commit to that?
They said they needed, it didn't come from the engineering department, it was one of the planners, but yes, they need
That it had the
engineered
stamp
drawings.
on it?
Yep. Or something from the manufacturer. If it was pre-manufactured, it would already have engineered drawings that they could submit.
Okay. I'd like to talk to Mr. Couture if there's no other questions. Hi. So you did apply for the permit after they were already built,
Yes.
and they've told you that there's a setback issue and that they have to have drawings to have that setback issue corrected, and then they would have to be, if they granted the permit, then they would have to be rebuilt. But are you prepared to get those drawings to the city?
Financially, no, I've tried, and a lot of the engineers, they want something that meets the code, and unfortunately, these carports were just put up just 4x4s, with a canopy on top, in concrete, so they're safe and everything. but they won't go through all that process, they won't make it through all that process of engineering drawings and meeting the code.
They weren't pre-manufactured, were they?
No. They were just put up, there was an oak tree there for a while, and it was just, the cars, I guess it's when I got a decent car, I just decided I had to protect it. And I went ahead and did another one, and the other car's there is one of my tenants, and he parks there, and he likes it. But he didn't want to come and say, I mean, it's not an issue of whether he likes it or not.
Yeah, it's a shame because they do look nice and it's obvious that you maintain them and the
That's right.
property is maintained. Unfortunately, they're not in compliance with the city and they should have been permitted before you put them up.
Of course, yes.
How long do you think it would take you to be able to get with engineering to afford engineering to give you the plans?
There are ways to get engineering plans. It doesn't have to always be by an engineer, right?
The manufacturer could get the permit for you if you had them installed by a manufacturer, like a steel
No, I
fabricator.
just had a handyman
Yeah.
put them up.
So how long do you think it would take you to be able to get with engineering to take care of all the payments and everything? You said you weren't.
Not a matter of money, really. I mean, I think it's worth the money to have the engineering drawings, if that's the only thing stopping us.
So you
I think
could,
that could be done, and
do
I mean,
this
if it's
by
a
the-
matter of money or whatever. And they can be brought up, even Jason and I talked, I have a contractor that helped me. We got a survey first and went through everything, and it says here how far, just one of the carports is encroaching on the right-of-way by, I think it's 1.5 feet, too long. So maybe that could be. The engineering department was very cooperative before. They allowed the concrete that the posts are in, and so I just paid like a permit fee, and they're allowing them, so maybe they're very understanding. I think it's not a matter of, it's just a matter of talking to them. I've talked to Mr. Benwell, he's the head of it, and then Mr. Wagner, who set up the requirement to get the permit to get the engineering drawings, he moved out of the department, right? He's not there anymore. He's the last contact I've had with the engineering department. I did submit drawings that weren't engineering drawings, but to see if they were satisfied, but I didn't get any response.
So the recommendation for this would give you 30 days to get the permit, not to fix the work or do anything else, but to get the permit. So find an engineer, get those drawings and get that submitted and get the permit from the city. Do you think that 30 days is substantial, that you'll be able to do that if you?
Shouldn't be hard. They just have to be an engineering drawing. Well, my contractor, John Solfris, like I was saying, he knows what they would need as far as contractual code to bring them up. They need some straps and this and that, and I think there is something about each post has to be in a foot of concrete, but I've seen places where they had that, but I didn't want to put that because I pull into park. I didn't want to hit a big concrete block pulling in for the car parts. Hard enough to get in those posts as it is.
I would say with this recommendation, that it's going to have to be your top priority to get it done by the 26th. Is
Yes.
that okay?
And I don't know if that's going to be possible because I have been working, it's almost 2 years now since I've tried to get the carports permitted.
Yeah, not to do any more work on them,
No,
just to get the drawings turned in so that you can get the permit by the 26th.
Yeah,
Okay?
there's nothing stopping the permits but an engineering drawing, right?
I'd like to see this fine drop to
Oh,
$50
the
a
foot and a
day
half, the engineering department can decide
with
whether they
this-
could allow that.
and leave
right?
this
Okay,
compliance
so
to
that's
the
what we'll have to do,
26th.
we'll have to,
That'd be
maybe
my
I can work with you on talking to the right person in engineering, and we can see if we can get some drawings. I don't know if the city would want, the city won't want to do it. I'll have to get a private engineer.
That's correct.
See, that's
That's what I'm saying, is you have to really focus down on this so that you can get it done and turned in.
Okay. Can you get does it have to be an engineer to get an engineering drawing? Or, because I've Googled it, and I see they're very complex engineers. Matter of fact, I don't know if the carports would pass an engineering drawing. See, that's the thing. and try to get people out to the property to see them. And I don't know if
Jason, are you able to answer that?
they're complex enough for an engineering drawing, are they?
Or can I jump in here?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So he could have an architect or an engineer come up with those drawings, and they would come up with a drawing based on how it's built, and then also to have it in the right position in regard to the right-of-way, and then he could get the permit, and then those changes could be made.
Okay, fantastic.
Question, so at this point, where they're structurally installed, it's a safety issue because it's kind of in the right-of-way by 1.5 feet? Is that what we're saying?
I'm not sure if it would be a safety issue or not, that might be a matter of opinion,
necessarily.
but it is part of the code, that site triangle.
Okay.
And then also, that Mark had said this has taken 2 years. He's correct. He did start with 4 violations. He's corrected 3 of them, so we've been working on multiple things. So we're down to this last issue, and hopefully we can get this resolved.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, he's been the best.
Okay, well, you're going to work with him closely.
Okay, I will.
Okay, we're going to make the motion. Thank you.
Okay.
I moved in an order requiring respondent to correct the violations on or before February 26, 2022. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay. 1 nay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. Okay, case 165-21 finds respondents Mary Robinson Estate at 1116 Beechwood Avenue in violation of code for roof maintenance. Is there anyone here to speak to this violation? Thank you. Okay, please come to the podium, state your name and address.
How you doing? Jerry Robinson. My address is 2323 Mary Sue Street, Largo.
And do you admit the violation, Mr. Robinson?
Excuse me?
Do you admit the violation?
Yes, there is a violation. I agree.
Okay, so you can have a seat in the front, and then we'll call you back after we hear from the inspector.
All right.
Thank you. Hi. Hello,
Hello.
Rebecca.
Good afternoon. Would you like to hear the full case? He just found out about the violation, so maybe prudent to go through it quickly.
Okay, thank you.
Board, would you like to do your first motion?
Yes. I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as in the affidavit in this case. Refer to it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm Rebecca Mulder, I'm the Code Enforcement Supervisor. I will be just presenting a PowerPoint for 1116 Beechwood Drive, case 165-21. There is one violation at this property for Code Section 3-1502 D1 and D3 for roof maintenance and a clean roof. The notice of violation was sent on 9/17 with a compliance date of 10/18/2021, and the affidavit of posting was done on 10/22/2021. This is the photo of the property that we're discussing on 9/16. When I drove by, I noticed that there was debris on the roof. Closer look, there is damage to the roof as well. Took a close-up there. There's an old tarp as well as some plywood covering up a hole in the porch roof. Tried to make contact. Nobody responded for quite some time. When I did make contact, it wasn't with the official property owner. She stated she was related to them. She was working on it, needed to get through the holidays, that the property owner was unavailable. Contacted her after the holidays. She stated that she was no longer living there and would not be making the corrections, so moved forward with the case. They also have some damage underneath to the soffit and various areas of the property. Went back out on the 12th of this year in January, and the violation still exists. No repairs have been done.
Your recommendations?
Recommendation is for the roof maintenance and clean roof requesting compliance within 30 days of today's hearing, or a fine of $150 per day for each day the violation continues to exist after 3 months from the recordation date of such lien. If the fines and fees remain unpaid, the city's attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such liens using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law.
Board, do you have any questions for Ms. Mulder?
Does this fix, does it require permitting?
Yeah, it would require a permit, would be my guess, based on the size of the damage and the extent that was explained to me by the woman living at the home.
Any other questions? We'll just hear from Mr. Robinson.
Okay?
So you just found out about this, huh?
Yes, ma'am. The property is in my mother's estate. She's no longer with us. My brother's the overseer. He lives in Quebec. There's 5 of us. And my younger brother was living in the property, and we assumed, he was going to do what it took to maintain the property, but come to find out he didn't do that. He left. His significant other was aware of it, and then it was just brought to my attention this year when it was posted on the door. My other brother went by the house, and that's when we were made aware of the violation, and that it was a code thing with the city. I contacted Lorenzo, and that's my brother that lives in Canada. He asked that I receive a couple quotes on repairing it, which I have done. I have a few quotes on repairing the roof. And we've also looked into just selling it outright because we still haven't resolved the probate issue thing. So I have a guy, Alex, he's out there probably today taking videos. And once this meeting is done, Lorenzo's going to give me a call later this afternoon. And basically what we need to know is where we stand with the city, what we need to do, and how much time we have to get it done.
Okay. Well, since it is already before us, a lot of time has already passed, and I think the recommendation was 30 days. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Do you think 30 days is going to be enough time for you to get that roof repaired?
30 days will give me enough time to either repair the roof or sell the place. So.
Yeah, because
that'd
we don't
be-
want it to go into more liens and fines and things, and then you try to sell it with liens on it. We don't want that. So
I
if you
appreciate
could
it.
try to get it fixed in the 30 days, that would be really great.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
There's nothing
Thank
else. Thank you. All right, so.
I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before February 26, 2022. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may enter a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day. Each violation continues to exist. If the fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Did you say all that? What needed to be done to bring it into compliance?
No.
Okay, we
Oh, I
didn't
thought
do
you
that.
did.
Okay. Compliance can be met for roof maintenance and a clean roof by maintaining the roof in a safe and watertight condition. Keep the roof clean, mildew-free, and clear of trash and debris or any other element that is not a permanent part of the building or a functional element of its mechanical or electrical system, and a permit may be required.
Is Mr. Robinson aware that he needs a permit?
Yeah, I did speak with him. He would contact our building department.
Okay, he's still here. I just thought he left.
I didn't hear the last part.
It's not necessary.
You're aware that you need a permit?
Oh, yes. I've seen the damage.
Sir, I'm sorry, I just need you at the podium with the microphone. You're good.
Yes, I've seen the damage, and it's obvious that I need a permit for that. So.
Okay, that's your first step.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay, next case. Case 01-22 finds respondents Eugene and Nadia Sanguinetti at 3460 Countryside Boulevard, number 65, in violation of code for residential rental business tax receipt. Is there anyone here to speak on this case?
There is not. Good afternoon, Board. Julie Phillips. Just wanted to let you know, yes, this was for a business tax receipt. They are currently in compliance, so I'll be requesting a declaration of violation.
I move to find the respondent was in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case. The violation was corrected prior to today's hearing, and to enter an order that no fine be imposed. If the respondent repeats the violation, the board may order a fine of up to $500 for each day the violation continues to exist.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Case 2-22 has been withdrawn. Case 3-22 finds respondents Advanta IRA Services LLC at 1263 Santa Rosa Street in violation of code for grass parking. Is there anyone here to speak on this case? Oh, Mr. Casman.
Good afternoon, Board. Would you like me to just go to the recommendation page for this one?
Can I get a motion first?
I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, please, Mr. Casman.
Yes. Daniel Casman, Code Enforcement Inspector for the City of Clearwater. This is for case number 0322. There's one violation here for unpaved gray area parking. Requesting compliance on or before February 1st of 2022, or a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day the violations continue to exist. Asking the board to authorize the following. After 3 months from the recordation date of such lien, if the fines and fees remain unpaid, the city attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law. And compliance may be met for the unpaved area parking by parking all vehicles at location on a paved surface or by removing the vehicles parked on the grass from the premises.
I think we're all kind of familiar with this.
Yeah,
We
and
wanna
you're
move on?
asking for February 1st for it to.
Yeah, in all honesty, all you gotta do is just move the cars onto the actual, it's a garage, and the gentleman who owns the property keeps cars in the garage, but for some vehicles just feels like parking them in the yard instead.
Are they allowed to have the one car along the side?
And it's a commercial location, so it's more of a no unpaved parking issue, not a residential area.
I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before February 1st, 2022. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If the fines and fees remain unpaid after 3 months such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Casman.
Thank you.
Case 4-22, find respondents Julia Lynn
He doesn't go far.
Soto at 1006 Druid Road in violation of code for exterior surfaces. Is there anyone here to speak on this case?
No, this property, this is going to be a declaration of violation. They came into compliance with the violation for exterior surfaces.
Oh, okay.
I move to find the respondent was in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case. The violation was corrected prior to today's hearing, and to enter an order that no fine be imposed. If the respondent repeats the violation, the board may order a fine of up to $500 for each day the violation continues to exist.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We love those. Okay, and the rest have been withdrawn. Nice to see you. And Happy New Year. Go all the way to the back here. Okay, are we gonna try to accept these all as one?
All the affidavits of compliance can be accepted under one motion, yes.
Okay, and may I have a motion to accept the affidavits of compliance?
I move to accept the affidavits of compliance as listed.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Is there anyone here to speak to the affidavits of non-compliance?
So you can take those as one motion.
All right.
If you could just list the case numbers, I think it's 133 and
Affidavits of non-compliance, case 133-21, case 135-21, and the other two are continued.
correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'll move that we approve the acceptance of affidavits for case 133-21, also 135-21.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any other items?
All right, board, so the first meeting of the year is when, in your rules, where you nominate a chair and a vice chair. So if you would like to provide nominations, and then we'll take a motion for the chair.
Still want the job?
So just to, I know there's a new, we had a chair, the chair had to resign the board. Ms. Bray was nominated and accepted the chair halfway through this year. And just by board rules, you do this once a year in January, so that's why we're here.
Sorry, who's the vice chair?
Kelly.
Okay, good.
Not me.
Not you,
Sit here,
Kelly, I remember her.
Kellyanne with the longer hair.
Are you good today?
I won't be offended if anyone wants the board.
I think you're doing great.
No takers.
I'm sorry, was there any nominations for chair? No?
We nominate her again.
Is there any other nominations? No? Okay. If I could get a motion to nominate Ms. Bray as chair.
I make a motion to nominate Ms. Bray for Chair of the Municipal Code Enforcement Board for 2022.
I second.
All in favor?
Thank you. Excellent.
Oh, do we need to do these abatement lien filings though?
Yes, but we do need a vice chair first.
Oh.
And you've got two people that didn't.
Oh, we have to nominate the vice chair first? Oh, okay.
Yes, so if you.
How's that gonna work?
Does Kelly still want the seat?
Can we
It's your
table?
nomination, and
She what?
she asked if she still wanted it, and it's your nomination to.
To vote her in or
It's
not?
your, yeah.
But we can't vote her in if she's not here. Oh, we
She
can?
can.
That's her
I
punishment?
think that's how she got there the first time.
I'd be happy to be the vice chair if you want to vote.
Okay.
Vice chair that's here more often.
Can we?
So I hear a nomination for Mr. Farrar.
I'll support it.
Yes, all right, is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion, Mr. Farrar as our vice chair.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Hey, that's what I say. I'm thinking.
She's processing.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So yes, now we can go on to item 7.1.
Item 7.1 is a nuisance abatement lien filing, case 15-22. Is there anyone here to speak to the nuisance abatement lien filing? No. I think there's a special.
Is this one actually still open? Yes.
Yeah. You want to read that?
Sure. I move to enter an order finding the respondent in violation of the code and requiring the respondent to correct the violations within 5 days of the board's written order. If the respondent does not comply within the time specified, the city may take all reasonable actions, including entry onto the property to abate and maintain the nuisance and charge the respondent with the reasonable cost, which will become a lien on the property. If costs, fines, and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Is there any more business to come before this board? Okay. This board is adjourned.
Thank you.
Now you're stuck in that small space over there.